Breaking news: Red Bull has lodged grievances against competing teams. Following the Brazilian Grand Prix, McLaren and Ferrari are claiming recently found infractions, while Mercedes CEO has made the shocking revelation that Lewis Hamilton may have prevented the team from signing big-name players like Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc. In other news, Lando Norris could become one of the fastest drivers to never win a world championship, according to Eddie Jordan. Welcome to F1 Real Time. For additional updates, remember to subscribe and click the bell symbol. Following an extremely fierce Formula One season, a new issue is growing off the track when Red Bull Racing purportedly found proof that some rival teams may be using an inventive but unlawful method to obtain a performance advantage by using water to cool their tires. According to reports, this revelation first came to light following the September Singapore Grand Prix, and it has since been more intense, with rumors raging over the Brazilian pre-weekend. Red Bull, who have watched their dominance in the Constructor Championship wane amidst a series of challenging races, has raised suspicions that several teams, including title contenders McLaren, may be using water to manage tire overheating, a key factor in tire performance and grip. The claim is that water is being discreetly introduced to the tires to keep them cooler, particularly on high-temperature circuits where overheating can make or break a race. The alleged tactic has raised eyebrows, especially given Red Bull's experience with similar strategies in the past before the practice was outlawed by an FIA technical directive several years ago. Though Red Bull themselves were known to have experimented with water cooling techniques, the accusation has reopened the dialogue around fair play and innovation, with Red Bull pressing the FIA to conduct a thorough investigation, while Max Verstappen is inching towards an extraordinary fourth consecutive World Championship title after a stunning victory from 17th place in Brazil. His achievements have been overshadowed by the ongoing concerns about McLaren's potential with 3 races remaining. Advantage first, Sten leads McLaren's Lando Norris by 62 points, making him the potential champion if he scores enough points at the upcoming race in Las Vegas to join Red Bull legend, despite Verstappen's dominant lead in the driver's standings. Sebastian Vettel is one of just 2 drivers in Formula One history to win his first titles in successive years. In the Constructors' Championship, Red Bull is in 3rd place, 49 points behind McLaren. This disparity is ascribed to Red Bull's notable mid-season decline in performance, which caused them to lag behind McLaren and Ferrari. Sten's first victory, in Sao Paulo's victory, his first in 10 races and his longest winless streak since 2020, signaling the end of a protracted dry spell. This tire cooling claim is the most recent development in Red Bull and McLaren's intense competition. Last month, McLaren made headlines when they were asked to change their rear WI design, specifically a mini DRS feature that reportedly gave their cars a speed boost on straight sections of the track. This mini DRS system contributed to Oscar Piastri's victory in Aaron, drawing more attention from rivals, especially Red Bull. The tension has been evident throughout the season as each team looks for a competitive edge through strategic innovation. After FIA intervention, Red Bull issued a statement during the USGP confirming that they had agreed with the governing body to resolve any compliance issues going forward. The rivalry intensified further at the USGP when Red Bull was involved in the so-called Bitgate controversy, which centered on a cockpit mechanism that allegedly allowed Red Bull to dynamically adjust their car's ride height. According to reports, the allegations involving water-cooled tires started in Singapore when Norris turned in one of his best performances of the season, moving from pole position to a decisive victory against Vernon in 20.9 seconds. Insider sources speculate that this dominating display may have sparked early concerns at Red Bull following race reports that claimed watermarks were discovered on some rims. When the tires were disassembled and inspected at pole's base, it was implied that water or moisture had been added to the tires through the valves to combat the high temperatures, even though Red Bull insisted otherwise. Pell is in charge of racing in Formula One. Red Bull's assertions are made more ambiguous by Mario Isala's public declaration during the Brazilian Grand Prix weekend that no anomalies had been noticed in the tire data and that he verified that Pelli had not discovered any indications of water usage by any team. However, authorities were reportedly spotted meticulously examining tires and rims in Brazil to look for any indications of additional moisture, suggesting that the FIA is taking the accusations seriously. Although no concrete evidence was found, according to sources, the probe is anticipated to go on as Red Bull demands more examination. Given that tire integrity is crucial for safety and competitive fairness in Formula One, the governing body is likely to proceed cautiously in addressing these claims. In the meantime, Lewis Hamilton's decision to join Ferrari in 2025 has left the FIA without a definitive statement on the subject, and it is still unclear what sanctions could be imposed if any team is found to have violated the tire regulations. Toto Wolff, the team principal for Mercedes, considers lost chances and changed team dynamics, given his long-standing affiliation with Mercedes, a collaboration that has lasted for more than 10 years and provided both sides immense success. The 7-time world champion's statement in February shocked the Formula One community. Wolff, who at first appeared unconcerned, has now disclosed that Hamilton's decision affected Mercedes' pursuit of elite talent like Lando Norris from McLaren and Charles Leclerc from Ferrari. Hamilton's departure signals the end of a historic era for Mercedes, where the Briton won 6 of his 7 titles under Wolff's leadership. Wolff had also publicly considered signing Max Verstappen from Red Bull this season. But with loyalty and contracts in place, Phil's alternatives were there are presently less Hamilton sneakers available. Considering Hamilton's unexpected revelation, Wolff acknowledged that I had suspected Lewis would go, but I didn't think it made sense. Wolff clarified that he's taking the news in stride, and that this was just a business decision. I couldn't understand why he would switch teams before knowing if we'd be competitive in 2025. His decision caught us off guard and prevented us from exploring negotiations with drivers like Norris and Leclerc, who committed to their respective teams just a few weeks prior. After an amazing adventure, Lewis and I now both have our own goals. I am thick and have had difficult times, but this isn't even close to the worst. In other news, Lando Norris, who is renowned for his natural speed and unwavering drive, despite Norris' strong performances this season, particularly in competitive matches against reigning champion Max Verstappen, he may soon run the risk of becoming one of the fastest drivers to never have won a Formula One World Championship. This is a possibility that former F1 team owner Eddie Jordan believes is becoming more likely. In a recent episode of the Formula for Success podcast, Jordan asserts that the McLaren driver has not yet demonstrated the aggressive edge that may tip the scales in a title duel. Jordan contended that in the high-stakes world of fandom, Norris' innate kindness might be holding him back. Norris was raised in a wonderful, kind and caring home. Is there anything to support Jordan's assertion that he is tennis? Indeed, he did imply that Norris's polite racing style might have helped Verstappen hold on to his lead in points during McLaren's most competitive period, squandering chances to close the gap in the race for the championship. Jordan cited several crucial races this season where Norris seemed poised to take advantage of Verstappen's setbacks, but instead of doing so, Norris frequently allowed Verstappen enough room to recover and hold on to his championship lead. The tendency was especially noticeable in close races like those in Austin and Mexico, where Norris displayed his speed but fell short of the hard-nosed strategies required to seize the lead. David, a more upbeat assessment of Norris's potential was provided by Jordan's podcast co-host and former Formula One driver. Reflecting on Norris's development, Cart emphasized that the McLaren driver is almost ready to become a full-fledged Grand Prix driver and acknowledged Norris's maturation journey. The analysis indicates that McLaren's sudden surge in competitiveness may have caught both the team and Norris off guard, and that it has taken some time to genuinely believe they are ready to compete for both constructors and driver titles. I think he's still developing into that person. He has all the speed we love, how open he is, everything is there. But at some point he has to go max. Card mentioned that McLaren has an attacking mentality that is essential for winning championships, and I believe that Lando is almost there in that regard as well. Claps music claps.